Hello everyone, welcome to the channel Rock and Metal Unleashed for the first weekly Song Suggestions Sunday, in which I bring you 5 songs every week and tell you about the albums that I listen to. Alright, so my first song that I'm suggesting for you this week is the song Starlight by Muse. This is the first Muse song I've ever heard, so it holds a special place in my heart, and I think it's the perfect gateway to get into Muse, so that's why this is the first song that I suggest for you guys. What I like about the song. The introduction to the song, there's a warm and fuzzy bass sound that's present throughout the entire song. It adds to the feeling of nostalgia created within the song. Then once the keyboard kicks in, the song just takes off and it's just a nice, well-rounded song. The drums in the mix aren't over the top, they're right there, they're right where they need to be. Provide the beat, that's it, they don't need to do anything extravagant. There's an excellent post-chorus that's demonstrated the second chorus, which then appears later in the song. Revisiting that part just makes the song so much better in my opinion, which is why this is the first song I suggest for you guys. The second song I suggest for you guys this week is the song Imitation by Red Sun Rising. This is the heaviest song that I've put on this week's list, because this week is just roughly meant to give you guys an idea of roughly the kind of songs I'll be suggesting to help you guys get into metal. Keeping this in mind, this song, Imitation by Red Sun Rising, is great because it has a very nice bass intro, high pace, high intensity, heavy, everything you need to know is in that bass. And when the guitar and everything else kicks in, it just goes so nicely. Well, very heavy, put together, and everything acts in unison, kind of create this angry sound that's present in the song. I love the tom parts in the verses. I don't think cymbals would have been very appropriate in there. Jarring lyrics, either be yourself or kill yourself. Gets the point across. Act like yourself. Don't be a person who you're not. And as I said, the intensity throughout is just so good. And then guitar solos to top that off. Excellent song. Heavy song. This is my second song for you this week. The third song I suggest for you this week is the song Canary Yellow by Haken. Now I simply decided to put this song on the list because Haken have released their studio album Virus this Friday. What makes this song great? Great vocal melody. It's a really, I'd say genuinely among their catalog, it's a fairly calm song. It builds up very nicely. At the beginning you have this very calm sound, mainly rim shots combined with snare sound. And then eventually you get these cymbals that come in along with the rest of the instruments. And the cymbal sound are just very warm and not overly loud. They do their job. The guitar tone is very full. It just sounds great within the song. It's a great progression within the song that in the end, it gets slightly heavier and slightly louder, but the calm nature of the song is present throughout. That's why this song is my third suggestion for you this week. My fourth song for you this week is the song N.I.B. by Black Sabbath. Is there a better place to start with metal than Black Sabbath? I don't think so. They're considered to be the forefathers of metal and basically created the genre. So if you're gonna get a taste of metal, you better at least listen to some Black Sabbath. What makes this song so great? There's a bass solo at the beginning, which is very fulfilling, and it has a tone that prepares you for the rest of the song. There's a very simple verse guitar riff Tony Iommi employs, works very well, gets you right in the groove. Then he has little nice guitar phrasings and eventually a solo, that great instrumentation within, and then as a little funny, the song itself, because the entire song is basically, it seems like a love song, and then my name is Lucifer, please take my hand. It completely shifts the tone of the song, and it just gives you the right idea. This is a metal song. Who better to deliver those lines than Ozzy Osbourne? He really is one of the voices of metal itself. Great song. My fourth song for you this week. And my fifth and last song for you this week that I recommend is the song Autumn by Caligula's Horse. Out of the batch of songs that I have provided for you this week, this one's probably my favorite for a multitude of reasons. This song is usually a song I play for anybody who doesn't quite see either beauty in metal or just thinks that metal is very chaotic. What makes this song great? Gentle acoustic guitar sound that's present throughout the song, even as it progresses. Vocal melody within this, paired up with the acoustic guitar, creates this longing, sorrowful tone within the song. Autumn, usually literature referred to a time of death, and basically sorrowful to reap the harvest. And this song signalizes that it's basically end of the year, end of the life, if you're taking the song in the context within the album. and it's just segue into the next song, The Ascent. So that's my 5th song for you this week. And now here's the segment where I basically tell you guys what kind of new stuff I listened to this week. So, as you can see by the list that is on the screen, mostly progressive metal, but I would say that there's a good mix within there. First thing that I listened to this week was the album Cloud Factory by Ginger. I've already listened to Macro earlier, and I gotta say, I think this one was my favorite one so far, because this one had like a lot of gent influence. You can hear a lot of Meshuggah, even some Tool influences in it. So yeah, honestly, I would say this one's my favorite. Great album. If you're into really heavy extreme metal, I would say that's a go-to for you. If you're just getting into metal, I'd say hold off on that. But it is, I would say, still a great album. Next album I listened to, My Arms, Your Hearse by Opeth. I'm falling into the Opeth rabbit hole, I can say. I love progressive metal, and I'm visiting all their albums. And yeah, I want to become a fan. And so far, they are impressing. My Arms, Your Hearse is a great album. There's a very sharp contrast between like beautiful acoustic sounds and this heavy, jarring death metal sound, which works. And it's this juxtaposition that really makes that album great. Next two are both Dream Theater albums. Dream Theater basically are the most popular progressive metal band out there. Both of these albums are great. The instrumentation is interesting. I'd say probably these are some of James LaBrie's best vocal performances that I've heard. They fit very well with the melody, or if they stand out, it's meant to be very melodic as compared to some of the heavier parts of the songs, and that works very, very well. So yeah, both Dream Theater albums are great. In the grand scheme of things, these next two albums seem very out of place, but honestly, they're still very solid albums. I never thought I'd say this, but yeah, the Taylor Swift album isn't half bad. I listened to it expecting it to be like her other stuff, but no, it's actually quite solid. It has like a dark mood to it that is present in a lot of metal. The lyrics are stereotypical Taylor Swift, but the melodies that she wrote aren't bad. They fit within the songs, and it stands out within her catalog. Next album, Spiritual by Alchemia. The Spanish power metal group. Guitars are great, a bunch of solos throughout the album, and it rivals some of English power metal's best as well. So yeah, it's definitely worth checking out if you're into power metal or symphonic metal. I think even if you don't really like metal yet, I think you could appreciate that one. I wouldn't say it's overly heavy, it's very manageable, very melodic, so that's a good album to check out if you like listening start to finish to albums. And the last two, Still Life and Deliverance, both by Opeth. Probably the only death metal I like at the moment, besides Gojira. Very much of what I'm going to say about these is going to be similar for My Arms, Your Hearse. Juxtaposition or contrast between this very, very heavy death metal, fast-paced, growls in the vocals, and then you'll have just, singing, acoustic, calm moments, and it just balances out. I love the whole play on the fact that Deliverance is the heavier album of the double album. And all in all, yeah, I'm really getting into Opeth. If you're an experienced metalhead, I can say go for all of them. There's not a single bad one, I would say, out of these that I listened to. So yeah, all in all, great week for music for me. And yeah, see you guys next week.